National Electoral Commission, that is INEC. Since I'm the one that is now recognized for official dealings, of the business of the party in the state, so I've kept doing my work. I've been focused. In politics, everybody cannot be on your side. Everybody cannot align with you. Everybody cannot agree to work with you. Professor Fagbemi Awamaridi and I have not met before because he doesn't want us to meet. He has refused to connect with me. When I was appointed to run the affairs of the party in the state, I put up a call to him for him to hand over to me. And he said he had nothing to hand over, that he was still the chairman of the party in the state. And I told him that I have just been appointed by the same employer, the same National Working Committee of the party, through the office of the national leader, the national chairman of the party, which employed him and relieved him of the position after 7 years, that he ran it the way he liked, anyhow. So the same person who employed him told him to hand over to Comrade Olukayode Ezekiel Salako, and he refused to hand over. And for that reason, I have not bothered myself about whether connecting with him or having anything to do with him. So the two of us haven't met before because he refused to hand over to me. And so I started running Labour Party in Lagos State from scratch.
Okay, so
again.
Okay, so let me put it this way. I remember that Dr. Awamaridi said that he was the flag bearer of the party. So is there still any contention of who is the flag bearer of the party after Rhodes Vival emerged as the flag bearer?
There is no more contention.
Okay, so we just
that has been settled also by the judgment of the same High Court. Awamaridi took the case to. Awamaridi took me to court for the court to determine who is the substantive, recognized state chairman of the party. And the court told him that, Professor Fagbemi Awamaridi, you are no longer the one. It is now Comrade Olukayode Salako. That was affirmed. The court also told him, Professor Fagbemi Awamaridi, you are not the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State. It is now architect Gbadebo Rhodes Vival. So, to clear the air on that, I remain the state chairman of the party in Lagos right now. The court has affirmed it. And by virtue of my appointment, where I was appointed, that has been an affirmation already. It has been an affirmation. Until Fagbemi now went to seek redress in court, and the court told him the truth, that he was no longer in charge of running the affairs of the party in the state, that I am the one. And for now, I remain the one, and architect Gbadebo Rhodes Vival remains the governorship candidate of the Labour Party in Lagos State. Okay. That is clear.
Okay, so
clear.
That's clear. Now let's go to 2 months after the inauguration of your presidential campaign council. Exactly. There's still so much to talk about in the Labour Party. One of them is, of course, allegations of corruption that have been flying around. You remember sometimes last month, there was the allegation of your party chairman, Julius Abure, of 40 million naira fraud. There was the allegation, of course, from the DG of your campaign, Doyin Okupe, in Ogun State as well. These allegations keep rolling up from the different parts. Just of recent, just last week, there was this allegation from Taraba State of your party, also pulling up an allegation against the party chairman, saying of a 20 million naira fraud. Does this in any way, affect the chances of your party going into 2023? Putting into consideration that the two big wigs party that your party is accusing supposedly accusing of corruption is what is happening in your party as well?
Well, I am not aware that my party, the Labour Party of Nigeria, as a party, as an institution, has come out to say that the national chairman of my party has committed any financial infraction. The party is not the one complaining. It is certain individuals who have personal issues to settle with the national chairman of the party.
But they submitted it to the executive committee of the party.
They submitted what?
The petition to the executive committee of the party.
It is normal. The executive committee of the party, the national working committee of the party, is, as might have received, I am not aware of any petition that anybody submitted, but if it is true, I'm sure.
I'm talking about the one by the National Public Secretary that he submitted and said and accused the chairman of those allegations.
Let me tell you something. The man that is accusing someone, he himself is an embodiment of corruption. We mustn't be talking about him. Someone like me must not come out to talk about Mr. Abayomi Arabambi, because I am the state chairman of Labour Party in Lagos. I have had dealings with him, and he didn't prove it to me that he's an angel either. Let me tell you something. That members of the party willingly decide to gratify the national chairman by giving him gifts in whatever form doesn't translate to corruption. I am the state chairman of Labour Party in Lagos State. I survive on free will gifts from members of the party. Some of them come to my office to tell me that, Mr. Chairman, sir, please take this envelope. Mr. Chairman, sir, please give us account details. We want to give you something to assist you to continue to run your office.
I think if that be the case,
yes.
If that be the case, it wouldn't have been a case of campaign funds, because what was alleged was campaign funds.
Yes, you have said it. An allegation,
yes,
that has not been proved or substantiated. Let me tell you this. As far as I am concerned, if anybody is supposed to come out at all to talk about any financial infraction in the party, it is supposed to be the financial secretary of the party, the national financial secretary of the party, or the national auditor of the party. Those are the two national officials in charge of, statutorily in charge of talking about things like that. Now, Mr. Arabambi that has come out to talk about this, how did he know? Who is he? How did he know? It means he himself must have been involved in what he's accusing the national chairman for. And I would have expected him to come out with concrete evidence instead of just coming on the national television to be disparaging the image, castigating the image, the good image of my national chairman. No. Comrade Abayomi Arabambi has only been speaking for himself. He's only the one, he's the only person who knows what he's talking about. All of us in the party do not know what he's talking about. And he's not the only person in the party. He's not the only person. Comrade Abayomi Arabambi has never been a disciplined member of the party. He's not disciplined. And for him to have come out to be using the press, to be casting aspersions on the personalities of prominent members of our party, leaders of our party, says much about the kind of a person he is. His kind of a character. Who he is. Is he the only person in the party?
But when you
is he the only person in the party?
Okay, so let's also put it into.
Is he the national legal advisor of the party?
Mr. Salako, let's also put it in perspective.
Is he?
Let's also put it in perspective. If the party chairman has been alleged to have done this.
Alleged by who?
Alleged to have done this.
Yes.
By the National Public Secretary.
Yeah.
Who, of course, I understand has been relieved of his position. Now, how come Ogun State is also doing that to the DG of the campaign.
Arabambi controls Ogun State.
How come Taraba State is also accusing the party chairman of the state of corruption?
Now, let me tell you this. In a political party like ours, a political party where a lot are now happening now, a lot of good things are now happening now, you can't find such kind of allegations, things like that wanting, from people who have personal grounds to settle with you. Is the party complaining about the national chairman of the party? Has there been any official means where the party, through either the National Financial Secretary or the National Auditor of the party or the National Working Committee of the party as a body, has come out to officially cast aspersion or to levy such an allegation against my national chairman? No. It is only Arabambi in the southwest that I know. That of the Taraba you are talking about, I am not really too conversant with that, because you are the one that is just telling me now. I didn't hear anything about that until you are telling me now.
The story has been.
It is that of Arabambi that I know. And I want to tell you that Arabambi is on his own. Is on his own. As far as I am concerned, the Lagos State chapter of the party has released a press statement about 2 days ago to affirm our belief in the character and person of the national chairman of our party, which is Barrister Julius Abure. As far as we are concerned, he hasn't done anything wrong. He has been investigated and found not to be culpable of all these allegations. And if tomorrow is found culpable, then it must have been true concrete evidence or evidences his accusers might have been able to put forward. But as of today, no concrete evidence, because allegations are not convictions.
Okay, so
that you have alleged that I have done something wrong doesn't mean it is an indictment.
I just wanted
on my personality that I've done it.
Yeah, I just wanted you to land.
Yeah.
And because the question I asked, you've not really answered.
What is the question, please?
And I said that all of these would have affected the chances of your party going into 2023 general election.
It is not going to affect it.
Okay, as you answer that question,
it's not,
hold on.
This is an internal issue of our party. It doesn't have anything to do with the fact that Nigerians have made up their minds to vote for my party to be the next ruling party in Nigeria come February next year.
Okay, so I'm going
it's
to...
It's a decision they've made.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a statistics. In 2019, your party, the Labour Party, had 5,073 in all votes.
In Lagos or in Nigeria?
In Nigeria as a whole.
5,000?
5,073 as a whole.
Now you can add six zeros to that.
So I'm going to ask you a question, and a very funny one at that.
Yeah.
How do you think that, yes, Peter Obi is on board, and the noise on social media is going haywire, but how do you think this can translate, the 5,000, do you think the 5,000 can actually translate into millions?
Do I think so?
Yes.
Okay, let me first of all let you into what is happening on the platform of my party now. What is happening on the platform of Labour Party right now is a political revolution, which APC, the All Progressive Congress Party, also benefited from in 2014. And PDP also benefited from in 1999, when Nigeria was about ushering in democracy. In 1999, Nigerians were tired of military rule, and they were agitating for democracy. It was that revolution that brought in PDP. In 2014, Nigerians were agitating again. They were shouting, lamenting that they were not satisfied with the service PDP gave them, that they wanted a change of platform. They wanted a change of government. And it is that revolution that brought in APC. In 2023, it is the same revolution that is going to bring in Labour Party. And what is the revolution? The revolution of the fact that Nigerians are suffering. Go out there and see the level of poverty, deprivation, frustration, hunger, anger, depression that are going on out there. Nigerians are now saying, oh, we even thought APC would give us a better life. Life is even worse under this platform. Now they are agitating again. Nigerians are agitating again that they are tired of APC, they are tired of PDP. Now they want to try a new political platform that has not sinned before, that hasn't committed any sin before, and that they believe has the grace and capacity to give them the kind of political leadership and governance service that will give them better life in Nigeria.
Okay, so
that is why I am of the belief that 5,000 votes you are talking about, go and add 6 zeros to it now. Because all the rallies my party has been organizing in different parts of Nigeria, if you calculate the number of human beings that come out for those rallies, that have been recorded for those rallies, you will know that it's now about 50 million. And out of those 50 million, maybe only 5 million will now have PVC. 45 million will have PVC. And what they are saying is that they are going to use their PVC to vote to change this government that is making them to be crying every day for good life.
If it's the same political parties rally that I've been saying, I think it's a different ball game entirely.
It's a what?
I think it's a different ball game
we did a 5 million man rally.
Let's move on this.
5 million man rally in Lagos on October 1. Did you not see it? That over 10 million Lagosians came out. Over 10 million Lagosians came out in about 15 different locations around Lagos.
When you say over 10 million Lagosians,
yes.
That's not possible.
That's not possible.
Yes.
It is.
I know.
It is possible.
Because you know why? I covered that rally.
It is possible.
I covered the rally.
You covered it in how many locations?
No, I covered that rally as a matter of fact in 2 locations in Lagos, in Lagos Island, and of course on the mainland.
That was the one I led from the National Stadium to Maryland alone. If we would have to count the people that came out for that one by one, at least we will count about 4 to 5 million.
Okay, let's go on as we round up the show. Your chances of taking Lagos, is it possible? You have
the chances.
Yes, you have a younger candidate in the person of Rose Vival,
which we consciously brought out.
Yeah, who was a former PDP member, until he stepped down. Let me use the word step down in PDP before he came to your party. He was still a governorship aspirant as at then, and he came to Labour Party, and of course he clinched the tickets. First, what is the chances of Labour Party in Lagos? Secondly, let me also put this out. You said your party is without no sin, but there are but are some members of your party who were part of the other party before they were with sin. For example, hold on, sir. For example, the presidential candidate of your party was part of the 2 big parties, as a matter of fact, was part of PDP, who was with sin. So, how do you reconcile that?
PDP is.
I just gave you 2 questions, so if you can just round up.
PDP is a political institution. If you are saying PDP is a sinner, it's different from Peter Obi is a sinner. You can be in PDP and not be a sinner. You can be in APC and not be a sinner. I am talking about individuals now, not the party as an institution. Peter Obi came from PDP, which you might be saying has sinned to the expectations of Nigerians before. Why? Because that party ran Nigeria anyhow for 16 years. And Nigerians, through revolution, voted it out and brought in APC. Now, Nigerians are saying that PDP is not going to be living their lives, APC is not going to be living their lives better in 2023. So, they are saying they want to vote that out too. It is a sin of the party I am talking about. I am not talking about the sin of individual members of the party. That's number 1.
Okay.
Then number 2, you are talking about the chances of my party in Lagos. Yeah. Go and write it down. Labour Party is going to be the next ruling party in Lagos State and in Nigeria because it is a revolution. Go and do your research. Anytime there is a revolution, political revolution of the mass movement of the people in a society, that party, that revolution is running on, always win its elections. There is a revolution on Labour Party right now, and it is that revolution that we vote for Labour Party to be the next ruling party in Lagos State and in Nigeria. I can bet it with you. I can bet it with you. Okay. My party is winning. Okay. Because my candidate is also a good product. We consciously brought out architect Gbadebo Revival. Watch out. Okay. Watch out. It's just some few months to the election. Just watch out. March 11th precisely will be the governorship election. Just watch out. So we'll see how that pans out. And of course, the February 25th will be for the presidential and national assembly election come 2023. And that's our part for the Labour Party. We'll go on a break. When we'll come back, we'll have the PDP chieftain who's going to talk to us about the crisis rocking the opposition party.
Every major news story is with many perspectives and layered with different levels of impact.
Hello. What time did this happen? We will be right there.
At TVC News, we follow the big and major news, gathering the facts, witnessing the outcome.
I am here live at the aftermath of the approval of the new national minimum wage.
We are TV station of the year, not just for breaking news, but for being first, fair and accurate. TVC News, first with breaking news.
In the month of December, on the 1st, it is World AIDS Day. On the 3rd, attention shifts to persons living with disabilities. And December 9th is dedicated to International Anti-Corruption Day. 10th is Human Rights Day, while the 11th is the 2nd anniversary of the abduction of over 300 students in Kankara, Katsina State. On the 12th of December, the World Health Organization dedicates the day as Universal Health Coverage Day. On the 17th of December, the abducted Kankara boys were freed 6 days after. 18th of December is set aside as International Migrants Day. It is the last month of the year. Brace yourself for an interesting December. Stay with TVC News.
The National Assembly is a busy place. As the bastion of democracy, it is a place where bills are presented, motions, debates of the people are laid bare. Come with us as we take you through the workings of the National Assembly. We take you through plenary, committee meetings, and probes, all to ensure smooth working of the democratic process.
Information is power, information is security, information is knowledge. On Labour Lens, we believe that working people around the world have real questions of their own. They want to know how the world of work operates, what it means to the employer of labor, how policies affect workers in the workplace. On Labour Lens, I am sure we engage effectively the organized labor, organized private sector, and governments to get out of them information workers are in need of. I am Sharon Ijason, asking questions that make you get sense of the workplace.
Welcome back. This is the Standpoint, where we'll bring you stories happening, of course, in the political space of Nigeria. With campaigns for next year's presidential election almost hitting a crescendo, the People's Democratic Party is yet to pull its house in order and mend fences with warring factions in the camp. Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike, who is the main actor in the drama that has been playing in the PDP, insists that the PDP national chairman Ayocha, you must step down. And Governor Wike says he has nothing against the party presidential candidate, Atiku Abubakar. He says for equity, justice, and fairness, the national chairman of the party must be from the South. And joining me on to talk about this, of course, is Pierce Adetokunbo, who is, of course, a PDP chieftain and the coordinator for the Atiku Okowa in Lagos. And we'll be talking about all of this in the bid. Thank you very much for joining us, sir.
Thanks for being here.
So let's start. The crisis rocking your party. Your party presidential candidate has been to so many places. After the campaign was flagged off in Uyo, so many places he has gone to. One thing still remains sacrosanct for the party is to bring all aggrieved members on the table and agree on a position. And one of it is that the governor, Nyesom Wike, and the G5 has not been able to come to that negotiating table and agree. Do that really worry your party going into 2023 general elections, knowing that you have five key states that belongs to your party, but right now they are not in support of the presidential candidate?
First and foremost, 5 key states are not against the party. Those 5 states from which those 5 gentlemen come from are not against Ayu or Atiku. All of those 5 states are on board with the party. Those individual governors may not be on board, but their party, the people, members of our party, and Nigerians in their various states are 100% in support of the Atiku Okowa presidential team and in support of the national chairman of our party, Dr. Ayocha Ayu. And you said yourself that our presidential candidate, has been in so many places after the flag off in Uyo. Everywhere he has gone, you have seen the support. So it doesn't really matter too much. That's why we say we don't have a crisis. We have a problem which all political parties have all over the world. That's why they call politicians here today, gone tomorrow, gladiators. Some philosophers have actually defined politics as war by other means. So you'll never have total peace in any party. Even in a family, you don't have full peace. We keep on negotiating, we keep on discussing, but I'm glad to say, and I'm sure you'll agree, that this misunderstanding with the G5, who now call themselves the Integrity Group, has not slowed us down, has not affected us negatively. When, for instance, when the leader of our party in the Southwest, Governor Makinde, said he was not supportive of Atiku and he wanted Ayu to step down, notice what happened. That is where you know where the party is going. Of the 6 states in his geopolitical zone, 5 of them came out immediately to say, we are not with you, Governor. We are with Atiku Okowa presidential team, and we are with the decision of the party that Ayu should stay.
Where's the leader of the party in the state?
In Lagos State.
No, who is the leader of the party in the various states?
In a state.
Yes.
It should be the state chairman of the party.
So what is the role?
Where you do not have a governor.
So what's the role of the governor?
Well, the role of the governor, usually what happens is, because the governor is the person who has the most influence and has the most money in every state, they have a lot of influence. But I'm going to tell you, in any state, any governor who wins an election did not win 100% of the votes, even in his own party during his party primaries. So if Wike is angry, is not with one position or the other, that does not mean that the leader of the party in that state, in Rivers State, is indeed Nyesom Wike, but he does not carry everybody along with him. He never did. When he ran for primaries of the party, he did not even win 60% of the vote of the people, let alone the whole of the Rivers State people in general. So therefore, no one person, as they say, no one monkey can stop the show. Sure. So we continue to move on as a party.
So if you say you continue to move on as a party, I want to ask you, do you think that what Nyesom Wike and the other G5, the integrity group they call themselves, do you think that what they are yearning for is indeed a good cause?
As a person who comes from Lagos State from the south, I could not disagree with them. But everything has to be put in context. About October, I think it was last year or the year before, I was on national TV and I was asked who I thought would be the best candidate for our party. And I said, in my opinion, it is going to be Atiku Abubakar because of his position on restructuring. Therefore, I took that position because that is what I felt. Now, shortly after that, I was told by some leaders of a party that, look, we are doing our best to have the presidential candidate of our party come from the south. And Dr. Pierce, please don't carry on promoting anybody. So I kept quiet for a while. I said, okay, let us see the candidate that will come from the south. And they went on, and when eventually they brought Governor Wike as the candidate. So Dr. Wike now, Governor Wike now is the candidate of the southern leaders, some of them. And I said, okay, let's go for election. It's a democracy. If he wins, then he becomes the presidential candidate. But he went into the election and he lost. So the person who won a democratic election, open, fair election, credible election, became our candidate. Therefore, that is that issue. Now, the question of the national chairman, he went through a process. And the process was that he would go through an election. And he went through the election and he got in unopposed, supported by all of them, including Wike and the Integrity Group. So that's the done deal.
But there was a clause.
Yes.
We heard there was a clause, because that was what Wike has always been saying. He said there's a clause to it.
What's the clause?
And the clause is that if eventually you now have the presidential candidates from the north, and now that you already have the chairmanship from the north, so that means that the chairmanship will step down and they will have a southern chairman. That's why I asked the question. Do you think that
and these are the facts. Yeah. Please listen carefully.
All right.
These are the facts. Dr. Ayu himself said in an interview, it's on record, we can play it today, if a northerner becomes the presidential candidate of a party and the party instructs me to step down, I will gladly do so. That's the clause. That is the most genuine, the most honest clause that we need to consider, which Wike and his group are not taking into consideration. And it's not fair to Nigerians. Look, I'm a teacher. I will tell you as it is. If that clause had not been there by Dr. Ayu, and what? Who decides whether to step down or not? The party does. The national working committee of the party decides on these issues. And this case was brought, in other words, you don't agree, I agree, let's take it to the powers that decide officially for us. When the thing went to the National Working Committee, it was decided by that committee that Ayu should stay. That should be the end of it. In my own opinion, to continue to argue otherwise is to threaten the stability of our party, is to threaten the possibility of a presidential candidate winning this election. Luckily, Nigerians are not interested in our struggles within our political family. They want to know what the candidate of the party has to offer Nigerians to take us out of the problems we have now, created by 8 years of misrule of the APC. That is what is important. Luckily, our candidate, Atiku Abubakar, has grown beyond all of this. Wherever he has gone, every single rally you have seen, I'm not telling you there were 20 million people at any rally. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Because you really don't use rally to determine the number of votes you're going to get.
Exactly.
But one thing that happens in a rally is you see that the party faithful are coming out. And there has never been in the history of our party so much support for a candidate. Atiku Abubakar is enjoying 90 to 99% of support within the PDP. That is the issue.
Okay. So when you say he's enjoying 90 to 99% within the party, and the aggrieved members are strong members of your party, for example, your party came to Lagos to have a presidential campaign rally.
Yes.
And the national former vice Southwest chairman of your party, in the person of Bode George, was not at that rally. Am I correct, sir?
Sure.
Some political bigwigs in Southwest were not part of that rally. How do you then reconcile that he's enjoying a huge support?
Let me explain it.
Because those are the ones who actually hold the structure.
Let me explain it to you. And I will tell you nothing, the truth and nothing but the truth. Chief Bode George was not at the rally. And because of the fact that Chief Bode George has been the leader for so many years, we who organized the rally had some challenges in how to mobilize. We are not used to it, but we tried and we had about 15,000 people, whatever, we had a good showing. Let me tell you something. That is the only shortcoming in that rally. You know why? Chief Bode George was not there, but I can tell you, all the people who support Chief Bode George, including the chairmen who are loyal, party chairmen who are loyal to Chief Bode George, were all there. Not only were they there, they mobilized and were part and parcel of every single thing that happened in the rally. Even Chief Bode George will not dare to tell his people not to go to that rally. They will mob him. He will be in trouble because Atiku is the popular candidate of the people. Look, when the G5 came to Bode George's house a few weeks ago and announced that they were not going to support Atiku for president, what happened? They were heckled out. They were stoned. They were mobbed. They had to run for their lives. That tells you Atiku is popular. Atiku is acceptable. Our members are solidly behind him. And I tell you what, not only PDP members are behind Atiku Okowa presidency, but Nigerians in general who listen to the project, listen to the policies that he wants to adopt, look at the individual compared to whoever is running. Atiku is the next president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
So I'm going to be asking you this. What, in the case of your party in Lagos State, permit me to use the word, looks like it's in disarray. Why I said so is you have different factions coming out with different stories that, you know, we never supported the governorship candidate of our party, even though it was, you know, from the national and all of those things. Chief Bode George has always been on the side that, you know, there was an agreement. You know, I had last week, I had Rhodes Vival, who was a member of your party, who is now the governorship candidate of Labour Party, on the show last week. And I asked him point blank, what was the agreement made? And he told me that the agreement made that he was going to be made the deputy governorship candidate to your governorship candidate currently now, Jandor. And of course, I said, if I'll be brave, of course it is. So there's a lot of internal wrangling in meeting. Do you see your chances of, with all this crisis, you know, battling allegations of corruption, allegations of, who is who leader and who is who in the Southwest. Do you see your chances in Lagos?
Okay, I'm glad we have settled the idea of crisis at the national. We don't have a crisis.
I never said you don't have a crisis.
Well, I'm saying.
Okay, anyway, you are the one who said you don't have a crisis. But it's obvious to Nigerians that there's a crisis.
Well. Look, we just trashed out the details here. Based on what I've told you, Nigerians will tell you that's not a crisis. Because what I'm saying is, if Atiku has a crisis, because of this IU problem, everywhere he goes, there'll be a problem. People will not come out to receive him with all the joy. And when people are talking about this election, don't forget, we are looking at 36 states, okay?
Yeah.
We are looking at 6 geopolitical zones. If you take it geopolitical zone by geopolitical zone, I can tell you, do the analysis. Election is over. Atiku is the next president. But anyway.
Those are permutations.
Well, yeah, based on permutations, that's all we can do. You can only permutate about what you're going to do tomorrow. You don't know tomorrow. We don't know the next minute. We can analyze, we can permutate, and we believe. And you will see. I predicted it, by the way, in 2015, that if we elect Buhari, bad as Jonathan was, we are going to suffer like we never suffered before in Nigeria. You are seeing it now. And I'm telling you, I'm predicting again now, 2023, Atiku. Otherwise, we have a problem. What's the choice before us? Is it to be or is it Tinubu? No, it's not acceptable. Anyway, Lagos State. This is what we have in Lagos State. Indeed, we are going through a transition of leadership.
In Lagos State?
Of course.
Okay.
Since Chibode George is not really on board anymore, we're going through some problems. But you see, these are things we have to work out as we go along. APC has its own problems. Everybody has to deal with what they have. One thing that happened with Revival is a good example of the problems that Chibode George and his clique have always created in the PDP. How can you say that you have an arrangement that Revival is going to be the deputy to Jandor? Who are you? Are you the one to determine? Because you say you are leader of the party, who elected you leader to be able to say that this person is going to be the deputy to this? That's not how it's done.
But Jandor also accept at that party. He said Jandor also accepted that Revival was going to be the deputy.
He accepted because Chibode George was supporting him. Chibode George was his godfather. They brought him in. So he was negotiating. They are all part of this problem. That is what he should have said to Chibode George. What would he say anyway? He would say yes. But he knows he himself did not go through the right process. You know?
You mean your governorship candidate?
Yes.
Okay.
He chose this person by himself. It is not what it was supposed to be. The party was supposed to go through interviews with different people that are recommended before you eventually, a committee was supposed to be set up. So both Bode George and Jandor, they went through it the wrong way. And we're still dealing with that now. Okay. That is why you find a lot of discontent in the party. But in spite of that, Jandor is going to win the election because the performance of the current governor is so despicable, is so unacceptable. He has made himself a personal assistant to his presidential candidate.
Okay.
He has neglected his responsibility in Lagos State and negotiating seat, for which reason I suspect they're going to vote him out.
All right. Thank you very much. The PDP chieftain in Lagos, P.S. Adetokunbo, who is also the coordinator of the Atiku Okowa support groups in Lagos. Thank you very much for joining us. And that's our show for today. I'm Ademola Lawrence. You'll watch the repeat of this by 11 p.m. and 5 a.m. tomorrow. And it's going to be a very interesting one. Come next week. Thank you, and God bless.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
The real estate sector in Nigeria is growing at a pace that is almost unbelievable. I'm on a journey to unravel the real estate sector in these parts and explore how the private sector is filling the housing deficit gap. To help you understand how it works, the players, the policies, the rules, but more importantly, how it serves as a veritable investment mechanism. Get a deeper understanding of real estate business from the eyes and experiences of the major players and learn how to make the most of it. Real Transformers, Exploring Tributed, starts October 1st, 3:30 p.m. every Saturday on TVC News.
Every 1 hour, 86 migrants enter Lagos State. It is a beehive of activities. Every second counts in this city that never goes to sleep. There is always something to talk about. We go the extra mile to tell the story of Africa's 5th largest economy. We track happenings on land, on waterways, and in the air. We go against all odds to ensure that you are heard.
25% of the entire spread of Lagos is covered with water.
I'm Adedoja Salamageni. I live in Lagos.
Monkeypox is caused by a virus of same name that is closely related to now eradicated smallpox. The likely symptoms of monkeypox are fever, headache, muscle aches, back pain, low energy, rash, swollen lymph nodes, among others. How does the monkeypox virus get spread? You can get the virus through close contact with an infected person and also through physical contact with an infected animal. To get monkeypox treatment, you need to see a physician. Here are the steps to protect yourself from monkeypox virus. Step 1. Avoid close contact with suspected or confirmed monkeypox cases. Step 2. Avoid physical touch with animals who could be infected. Step 3. Frequently clean and disinfect environments that could have been contaminated. We all need to join hands together to protect ourselves from this virus. This campaign is brought to you by TVC Communication.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
Hello, welcome to World Now. Let's begin in Africa, where the UN office in the capital of the Democratic Republic of Congo, Kinshasa, says last Tuesday's heavy rains and flooding killed at least 169 people. Earlier, Congolese authorities